Hello everybody, Slim Kirby here, and welcome to the Crystal Star Studio E3 2012 podcast. Let's quickly go around the room and announce who is here with me.
Megafreak 400.
We're all in a room?
Yes, we're in a room.
I mean, K-Man, that's me.
And this is the Pasta King, the person who we can't have this podcast without.
I'm Guy Griffin 9.
You guys all know me, Shadow Mario 41.
Who?
No, you say that to the Pasta King, not to me.
Oh,
Who?
I'm Howard Mario. Hello.
Okay, so very quickly, I'm going
That's Slim Kirby.
I already announced who I was.
Said that
so,
already.
Yeah, come on.
Just making sure.
Anyway, basically what we're going to do this year is every year there's the Electronic Entertainment Expo, E3, as it's also known as. And basically during this expo, several different gaming companies, mostly the big three, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony, take the time to showcase their new software and sometimes hardware that is coming out for their video game lineups. And they have a big showcase, they show all these games, all these different accessories, all these systems, and gamers love to geek out on it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be talking about the E3 2012 lineup of things to come. For this part of the podcast, though, it's mainly going to be focusing on events and predictions that we kind of are going to be making for this year, what we expect to see. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet. The actual showcasing is going to start on Monday, and then like the show floor opens up on Tuesday, I think, and it goes till Thursday. So nothing's been officially released yet, but you can still make your predictions. There's a lot of stuff that are being rumored to be shown at E3, and that is exactly what this podcast is going to be about. So does anyone want to go ahead.
All right, topic number one. Will Reggie's body be ready?
His body's always ready, you know that.
Yeah. What a dumb question. Next.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Where's my dinner? Okay, that was a dumb question, too. Any legitimate question?
Getting off to a great start.
Yeah.
No further questions.
I think the point of this was to kind of reflect a little bit over what was kind of revealed last year and then go quickly into prediction.
Yes. Yeah, let's do that very quickly first. Does anyone want to quickly just summarize what was kind of shown last year, and everyone else can kind of fill in the holes if there are any?
I can. I mean, I'll go ahead and start with Nintendo, and I'm going to get a little more deeper into Nintendo than the other two, but last year we have a new console that's supposed to come out this year called the Wii U.
Well, actually, there's no date determined yet. But there's going to be more details on the Wii U, but we don't know the date. More than likely, it will be out by the end of the year, but it may not be. So
probably this holiday season.
Yeah,
maybe.
Like the November date with the Wii originally. You think?
Possibly.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty fitting. There's actually they actually announced some titles at the convention last year. I'll just name a few of them: Assassin's Creed 3, Batman: Arkham City, Darksiders 2, and they also announced a duo release in a couple of years called Super Smash Brothers, and they give it a title. The fans gave it a title, Universe, and it's supposed to come out for the 3DS and the Wii U in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't forget Skyward Sword was a pretty big showcase last year too.
Yeah, and just Zelda in general because
it was very Zelda dominated last year.
Yeah.
25th anniversary.
Also, don't forget the 3DS with like Luigi Mansion 2, and that's specifically the one game that hasn't been announced. Some that was shown during the show. There was also Animal Crossing and Paper Mario for 3DS and a few others.
I also learned later on, I think they sort of confirmed it would be released for the Wii U as well.
No.
No?
You mean Animal Crossing?
No, I mean Luigi's Mansion 2.
No. That's a false rumor then, because there's been no other details on that.
Okay.
Well, remember that Nintendo wasn't the only one who was there. Sony was there too. And Sony's big thing last year was the PlayStation Vita, which came out earlier this year. And that was their big claim to fame because it was supposed to be, and I can actually vouch for it, is, not that I own one, but it is way better than the PSP can ever hope to be. and it has some pretty cool compatibility with the PS3 as well. So I really like that.
Yeah.
The one thing I heard is...
And then 3D TV was a big thing. And 3D TV with Sony, and their biggest game was Uncharted 3 that they had last year, which is an awesome game.
PS3 is impressing me, but not the PS Vita, not yet. I think it's a great piece of hardware, but it needs more games that I actually want to buy. I mean, all it has is what? Uncharted Golden Abyss? Please.
The one thing I've heard, and I'm kind of like off, I'm not really into the Vita discussion, but from what I've heard, and I can agree with this sentiment, they kind of wanted people to think that the Vita had console quality graphics, and that's not honestly that true. Plus, a lot of the games for the Vita are games that you could also get on the PS3. The Vita needs some handheld exclusive franchises for the Vita itself.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, most of its games are pretty much just limited to what you can find on other consoles already. Like Rayman Origins is on there for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just poor, and it's at least for the 3DS version, it's just a poor port.
Yeah.
But Origins is a great game.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because people grill the 3DS for having a weak library, but hey, is Vita really better in that regard? Nope.
Well, they've both been off to well, obviously now Vita just came out later, but they both started off to a slow start. I'm sure Vita will pick up eventually.
One thing I kind of wanted to bring up was, I don't know if this happened to any of you guys, but did you even recognize when the Vita came out? Because I swear, I just went into the store one day and just saw it, like, just on the shelf, and I was like, oh, they released that? They, like, did, like, barely any advertising for it, it seemed like.
Well, actually, I knew when it came out because I got bombarded with those Vita advertisements for their scoreboard or something that allows you to play competitively with your friends on a scoreboard thing, and all I remember is the commercial where everyone looks at everyone else as if it's some 1950s Cold War conspiracy thing.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I only knew it because of my subscription to Game Informer, so easy one for me.
I got emails from Sony because I'm on PSN, so that's how
I wasn't, like, I obviously don't really have much of a connection to Sony, so besides just personally looking up the release date, I didn't really know about it as much, at least not as nearly as much as the Nintendo, but then again, I do get more stuff from Nintendo, so, and I pay more attention to Nintendo too, so I don't know if there's really a comparable difference or not because of my perspective, but.
The only thing I know about the Vita is that I pronounced it wrong.
Vita.
Anyway, there are 3 main consoles.
No, there's only 2.
Okay,
Microsoft doesn't count.
Microsoft, let's summarize Microsoft. Modern Warfare 3, Battlefield 3,
Halo 4.
Civil War 3. And
Connect!
people waving their arms around in front of a TV claiming it's a game.
And
Yeah.
The worst offender, I think, was the Star Wars one, because when that came, I don't know if it's out now, but
It is out.
there's a whole section with just dancing. It's Han Solo dancing.
What?
No, you don't do that to Star Wars.
Hey, Han Solo discoed first.
No, there's stormtroopers dancing to a version of the YMCA that's "We Love to Be in the Empire Today" or something.
We need to keep that on Star Wars Weekend up in Disney. That needs to stay in Disney, okay?
Hey, I saw stormtroopers dance at a rave at an anime convention.
But as a joke, not as like. I mean it's fun, but there's yet to be a game for the Kinect that's kind of been
Fruit Ninja.
use the technology in a forward-thinking way. I'm not saying the Wii's honestly necessarily done that as well, Skyward Sword, but it hasn't done it as well as it could have. But Kinect has really not really progressed anywhere.
It's kind of it really does remind me of a glorified iToy.
Well, the technology is amazing. Basically, I was wondering if they were going to do anything with the games, like adventure games, and they haven't done anything with that yet to prove that.
Well, I think from what I heard, they're actually going to make Skyrim compatible with the Kinect, the new DLC package that's coming out. So that would be interesting if they do that. I don't know if they're going to do that for sure. That was like a rumor. But
so
maybe.
How would you do Busro Da with the Kinect?
Oh, you'd have to yell at the top of your lungs.
Oh yeah, voice recognition. So.
See, that's cool. But the one thing with the Kinect and like adventure games though is how do you do boot movement without a controller? And it's
You run.
Well,
In place.
You run in place.
Oh wait, you kind of like how the Wii does it.
Yeah, how the Wii does it. Anyway, there were some other announcements from Microsoft, too. I know we're making fun of them. But they also announced Halo 4, which was a big thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like this new trilogy for Halo. So you got to give them credit there.
Yeah.
Also, the Halo, it's out now with the Halo Collector's, or the original remaster.
Halo Combat Evolved, the remake, which is really cool, I think, because it has that option to switch between classic graphics and HD graphics, like, immediately.
That was a pretty cool idea. Honestly.
That's really cool. And then they came out with Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which just recently came out, and is pretty fun from what I heard. And don't forget Minecraft, which I know you guys all love. Minecraft
No.
60.
Yeah.
I love it. First. Came in and I love it. You guys don't. But
Wait, do you actually have it for the 360?
I have it for the 360 now.
Oh.
You should
Okay.
get it. So that was pretty much it, though. And then it was like more stuff with Xbox Live. Like you can watch YouTube videos on it. But
Also, last year was the year before they had the bad child actors.
That was last.
Oh.
I think that was last year.
That was last year, fist bump.
That was last year.
Okay, so now that we recapped last year, who wants to kick it off by previewing this upcoming year?
Well, which company should we start off with?
Well,
You make the call.
I'm going to specifically mention, because they do have their own press conference, kind of actually to segue into Nintendo, Ubisoft, I know for sure they're going to actually be probably premiering Rayman, was it Legacy or Rayman Legends?
Legends.
Yeah, there's actually a supposedly leaked, though I don't know if it was actually leaked, and it was just kind of falsely linked trailer for it using the Wii U, and the game looks kind of amazing. It's basically a sequel to Rayman Origins. And they also they're showcasing, you know how Spyro Skylanders, you have that technology to put the toys on the portal and put the characters in there, that kind of technology.
Yeah. Well,
the Wii U has that ability, and they showcased like putting a rabbit on there, and then they kind of made the whole kind of an allusion to grabbing an Ezio from Assassin's Creed statue to put on the Wii U. So Ubisoft is definitely going to have some announcements for the Wii for games for the Wii U. Mm-hmm. One of them will be Rayman Legends.
Mega, what you saw was probably the trailer, because they said it was a demonstration video, but they revealed a lot of stuff in that.
No, I know it was the trailer. I'm just saying that it was technically leaked, but I'm saying it was probably fake leaked. They probably leaked it on purpose to get attention. But yeah, I did see the trailer.
Okay.
All right, and then before we actually get into the big three, I will mention Capcom, since you mentioned Ubisoft. And Capcom's a pretty big name developer, because they'll probably have a ton of Resident Evil 6 stuff out.
Yeah.
And that's
6?
Yes,
Yeah, I think some photos have been leaked of Resident Evil 6. I'm not sure, but
It's in magazines officially.
yeah, they put a few trailers out too.
oh,
I mean, I'm sure the game is going to be good, but they could try on the name.
True. Last year was
Evil Residence 1.
We'll see how this year goes. Because last year they had Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they had Street Fighter Cross Tekken, they had all their lovely games, and this year I'm interested to see what they have besides Resident Evil 6. So.
Well, the thing about Capcom is that recently they've all been about Resident Evil and the fighting games. No more love for Mega Man, no more love for Breath of Fire, a long forgotten series and a good one. In my opinion.
What about Final Fight? Don't forget about Final Fight.
Yo, Final Fight needs to make a comeback.
Does. I agree. All right, so anyway, get into the big three. I don't know who wants to kick us off, but I feel like I've done a lot of talking, so.
We could start with Nintendo.
Yeah, we probably know the most about Nintendo anyways.
All right, be my guest. Someone go right ahead.
Preferably.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, there's going to be some 3DS talk, but obviously the biggest thing that's probably going to be revealed is more Wii U details, because last year they really didn't have, they just pretty much had like a tech demo. They didn't have anything actually concrete to show. So there's going to be more, I don't know if we'll get a release date or price, but I do think we'll get some, game footage, obviously. Specifically, we will be getting Pikmin 3. If we don't, then screw them. But I'm sure we'll get Pikmin 3. Whether or not it'll be a launch title is debatable, but I hope it will be.
If they release Pikmin 3, I'm going to be disappointed that they didn't release it sooner, because their whole reasoning has been, we didn't want it to be drowned out by everything else. But this is going to be a big update this year, and I think that their argument, if they release it this year, it just basically means, why didn't they release it sooner when it would have been a little bit bigger news?
Well, no, because it was originally developed for the Wii. Last year, we learned that they were actually had switched development to the Wii U. So
they did the same thing with Star Fox 2.
It's going to be the same story, I feel, as Zelda Twilight Princess.
But they haven't
it's not going to come out for
yet.
the Wii.
And they haven't shown anything for it yet, though, either. That's the one thing. The problem with Twilight Princess is they showed Twilight Princess and then kept saying, "Oh yeah, we're having the release date right then," and then they pushed it back. They have so.
Last I heard about Pikmin 3 was that not necessarily that they were having problems with it, but I don't know. They've kind of mentioned it, but never really shown us everything for like the last 3 or 4 years. Like ever since that very embarrassing year for Nintendo with that Cammy lady or whatever. But and then like I don't know. I thought I heard like last year like they were having like some problems with it, and that's why they didn't announce it then. But then yeah, I guess I did hear the whole thing about changing obviously the development for it for the Wii U. So that's probably why they're doing it now.
I haven't heard anything about the problems. The way I see it is most of the announcements of it in previous E3s were just Miyamoto making a offhanded comment, mostly probably to please fans, but for the most part, it wasn't ready to be announced yet, and then they switched development to the Wii U, so they really shouldn't have mentioned anything until now, but they just happened to.
Wait, I remember what it was. Like, there wasn't really a problem, but their like development team got smaller or something.
Oh, yeah, and they had to probably shift it to other projects, so that makes sense.
Like Skyward Sword and everything else, so, yeah, that does make more sense, but, yeah, I think we will definitely see something this year. I know it seems like we've been saying that for, like, the last 2 or 3 years, but I think it's actually even been confirmed at this point that they are going to show something about it, so we should, theoretically, see what it is, so.
Yep. Luigi's Mansion 2. I was going to say Luigi's Mansion 2 will probably also get a release date, so don't forget
for the 3DS, yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of the Wii U launch titles. I wouldn't be surprised if Pikmin 3 is a launch title, but at the same time, I'm not sure, just because I don't know I don't know, like you guys have said, we've been saying it every year that they would announce it for the next year and all that, but I don't know, I'm kind of still a little skeptical, but I never know.
Well, the thing is that they don't really have any Mario game to kind of mainline right now. I mean, there were rumors of new Super Mario Bros. 2, but like other than just the title draw, there really hasn't been much of a passing mention. They showed screenshots of new Super Mario Bros. 2, but that's for the 3DS.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, but then for like the Wii U, they might just put Pikmin out there because they really don't have any more popular or like well-known stuff.
I think it's going to be a big emphasis on third-party titles on the Wii U.
Probably.
Like we mentioned, Batman Arkham Asylum.
Because they definitely need to make up some ground.
Assassin's Creed. Like, they're going to really focus on that, I think.
The only thing with the third-party title thing, and maybe they'll get better support, but with the 3DS, they try to do that, and they didn't put their first-party titles out. Then everyone complained about them not having any first-party titles, and the third parties didn't step up to the bat.
That's true. But they didn't have the third-party titles that, like, they didn't have Assassin's Creed, and they didn't have, Batman Arkham City. Like, those are big, big games. And
I'm interested in Arkham City, even though technically, like, Arkham City has already been, like, a year released beforehand. I'm interested to see how the technology of the Wii U and what they will add, because they mentioned that it's going to kind of maybe be a definitive version. So, personally, because I don't have any of those systems, I'm excited once I get the Wii U to get Arkham City, since it's a great game to own anyway.
Yep. So that's the Wii U. It's probably going to be mostly Wii U specs. I think anyway, Wii U, how it works, how much it's going to cost, a release date, stuff like that.
I don't think there's going to be a release date or a cost. A few other things is there actually is going to be a Mario game for the Wii U, whether or not be a release date, but there wasn't. They did say we are working on a Mario title for the Wii U. I don't think it's going to be New Super Mario Bros. Me, and I hope it's not, because really the New Super Mario Bros. Series should die down. And then there's probably going to be a Zelda Wii U. Whether or not that will be announced or even shown is up.
Really?
I think Skyward Sword needs a little space.
I think what they're going to do is actually try and get a Zelda for the 3DS.
That's going to happen too.
I don't think they've had... I think it's time for that. I don't think they'll release one for the Wii U just yet, but I think we'll definitely see one for the 3DS.
What happened with Phantom Hourglass? Does that have enough of a story to kind of extend it into the 3DS?
Spirit Track extended off of that.
Oh, okay. So Spirit
Get
Tracks
with
is
the times,
actually the
man.
sequel to Hourglass?
Yeah, get with the
PDM, leave the Zelda games to the professionals.
So, PK, what do you
anyway.
think about the Zelda series then?
What do I think about the Zelda series? Personally, I don't care what Zelda's doing because I know it's going to be just fine.
I agree with
They're
PK.
going to eat it up as usual. What I'm worried about is the new Smash Bros. Game because I'm a big fan of Smash, and I want this new game to be the one that unites everybody. Because let's face it, if you look at the Smash community right now, there are three
It's
camps.
divided.
One big
Brawl.
camp plays Melee, one big camp plays Brawl, one tiny camp plays the original. I want one camp for this game. I want this to be the best Smash game, and somehow I think Nintendo is going to screw it up again somewhat.
PK, I don't want any camps because if they're gonna do that during the game, then it's not gonna be fun.
No camping.
No, it's not. No, I think it's going to be a great game. Either way, you slice it. But somehow, some way, I know that Nintendo is going to make some kind of mistake again that makes some people turned off by it. It always happens.
Well, the thing is, even if they don't make any mistakes, someone's going to point something out just because they want to have something to point out. So
Well, let's hope they don't have much of anything to point out.
Yeah, I don't think that was really, like, Nintendo's fault or anything. Like, gamers are very, very fickle, especially competitive gamers. I mean, they had Melee for, like, 6 years, and, Melee was very, very defining as a Nintendo fighting game. I mean, I played it all the time with my friends. There'd be tournaments everywhere. I mean, that was very big, and Brawl was definitely a big change for that in terms of just, like, the gameplay. It really slowed things down a little bit, got people to think different ways, and, a lot of those gamers weren't kind of used to that, I guess. Now, I did think Nintendo made a lot of mistakes with Brawl in terms of, like, the single-player content, because, let's face it...
single-player content. Keep that up.
Yeah, I know. Like, the Emissary was okay and everything. It was alright, but, like, everything outside of that, it was just a repetitive, very boring thing to play by yourself. It was always the multiplayer, and...
Yep.
I was really disappointed.
I honestly don't think they
No,
ever...
shut up. I was going to say I was disappointed by the event matches, because I love the event matches.
Yeah, those were terrible.
That was such a huge draw for Melee. And then Brawl, they were just like, have Mario defeat Wario. And it's like, well, that's...
Why?
I could do that all the time.
Hey, I like the single player. I mean, masterpieces, man. It was amazing.
Masterpieces can go rot for all I care. That was the most wasteful addition in the entire game.
Well, what about the list of, like, previous games? That was pretty wasteful, too.
Oh, yeah. Guys, let's not forget the best mode to ever waste your time on. Getting trophies.
I actually like doing that, though.
I didn't mind the thing that they added for trophies as opposed to the slot machine. I like being able to shoot the coin shooters. That was actually a cool addition, personally.
I don't care about trophies. They don't really get you anything.
I just want to fight.
And anyways, like I was saying, I can't really remember a Smash Bros. That really had a very good single player, in my opinion. I've never really... Like, I know Melee kind of had a good, as you said, event matches, but even then, I still don't go onto Melee and say, you know what, I'm going to do event matches. I always just jump right to the multiplayer. I think it's kind of like Call of Duty. No one ever buys it just for the single player. They usually buy it for the multiplayer. And likewise, I think Smash Bros. Has kind of made that name too, is that, hey, we're a game that you mostly buy for the multiplayer, but we're going to throw in the single player to satisfy some people who don't have friends.
I agree. I agree with that, but at least in the modern day and age, like, there's a different kind of gamer that's out there, and that's the achievement gamer. And I feel like, especially with Brawl, but also in Melee too, like, there's a lot of, like, the trophies, like we talked about. Like, there's a lot of trophies you get for doing different things, and I feel like there were a lot of people, I know I was one of those, who, like, wanted to collect all that stuff because it was kind of a way to, show that, hey, I unlocked everything. I didn't just unlock all the characters or anything. I unlocked all of this, and I think that's a very important aspect in gaming, at least today, because, it gives the players something to do outside of the multiplayer. The multiplayer is really fun, but, like, you're not always going to be around people all the time, so I don't know. I thought that they did a really good job with that part of the game. I just think that, at least for Brawl anyway, they could improve on a lot of those things, because I felt like a lot of them just got really boring and repetitive and just didn't really even seem to merit like any kind of reward of some sort.
Yeah.
And some things were just copy-pasted from Melee. Oh, Classic mode. Oh, All-Star mode.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
It seems like it's turned into a Smash Brothers podcast.
Well,
rather than
Well, it's a
Getting-
big thing.
podcast.
But
Who knows
It's
if
a
Smash
big-
Brothers
it's a
will
big
even be
deal.
announced?
Well, getting back out though onto E3 on other topics though, Retro Studios specifically will definitely be having a project there, and there's debate as to what they're going to do, if it's going to be a new project or if they're going to take another Nintendo IP and make it awesome.
Please be
Retro
Star
Isaac.
Fox.
Star Fox.
I'm hoping
Mario Party 10.
F-Zero. You want F-Zero?
F-Zero next. F-Zero after Star Fox.
Yeah, F-Zero, yeah. F-Zero needs a game too, but first Star Fox.
I'm very weary about Nintendo allowing third parties to just have complete free reign over the Star Fox franchise, because they made first party was
Retro isn't third party though. Retro is owned by it's second.
Oh,
It's like
I don't
it's
understand.
rare.
Okay, you need to
No. Wait.
It's
The
not-
last
it's
time
second
Nintendo
party.
let a third party reign over a franchise, we got Hotel Mario, and that's a fantastic innovation.
Hey.
We got Wand of Gamelon. I don't think
No.
there's anything wrong with that.
Basically, Retro is like Rare was back in N64 days. They're technically I think part of them is owned by Nintendo, but they're not just some random party.
They're like-
They only develop for Nintendo systems.
Yeah.
They're like HAL Laboratories, who makes
Yeah, 'cause
Brawl
HAL
and
is-
Kirby.
Yeah,
or a
HAL
bunch
is
before
technically
they split off.
It's the same idea.
yeah.
Hey.
Intelligent Systems makes the Fire Emblem and Advance Wars and Paper Mario games.
And Game Freak, Pokemon, so...
Mega, I'll just briefly tell you where my mindset's at. Every time I think third party, I think something that has a branding on the game art, on the game box, like Rare has art on the box, or HAL.
Third party basically means they develop for a system they don't own. Like basically
Sega.
Sega or Square for Square. When they develop games, they're developing third party. And hell, Square's developed games for Nintendo with Nintendo franchises before,
Mario Hoops?
Mario Sports Mix. Well, Hoops too, but
Oops, was
So-
damn good.
it's
Oh,
surprising. People always look at the publisher and they think, "Oh, it's a Nintendo game," but you gotta look at who developed the game, and a lot of times it's a surprising source.
If
Right.
Retro can do to Star Fox what they did to Metroid, I think it'll be a good game.
Wait, Retro made what? Did they make the Prime franchise?
Yeah,
They
that's
made
Yeah.
Prime 1, 2,
Returns.
3, and DKCR.
Cool.
Yeah, Dino
Yeah.
Country Returns.
Now,
They,
Agree.
they honestly have a really good running
Track record.
track record.
Yeah.
I think
So,
they're 4 for
I-
4.
and so right now, I think if they make a Star Fox game, I think they'll do it justice. I don't think many people will be disappointed.
I
And
know
they're from Texas.
I know there's a lot of Star Fox fans that want to go back completely to the rail shooter, like straight up Star Fox 64 kind of game. I thought they had something going with Adventures, honestly. I think combining rail shooter and another genre together, like almost like they needed to add a little more rail shooter to Adventures, honestly, because that was kind of like a go between different sections of the planet.
I think
I think
Star
peop-
Fox Assault kind of was a kind of a bridge between those two worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Star Fox Assault was kind of a really good balance between what Adventures was and what 64 was.
Whoa,
And so,
you know what?
yes,
There was another Star Fox game that I think we're ignoring here, and it had great concepts that could possibly be improved.
Star Fox 2.
Command.
No, shut up.
No,
Hey,
Command?
Star Fox had a lot of promise.
Command? Are you being
It didn't
serious?
deliver. It had a lot of concepts that were good, but it didn't
Yeah.
deliver.
Okay,
But
hold on.
Retro
Let
could
me
take-
give you a briefer, okay? Everything that came from Command came out as Star Fox 2. You remember that game, right, PK?
Yes,
Star Fox 2 was
of course I do.
unreleased.
So if you reference Command, you cannot not reference Star Fox 2.
Okay, Star Fox 2 as well, but you know what? That game was never released.
The thing is, Retro could probably take any concepts and make them well, because Retro has proven in the past that they can do stuff.
well, I think we can wrap this up by saying that Retro will probably do a good job, and we'll just see what they come up with.
Good call.
and then
Hey.
I'm also...
One more thing
Oh.
to say. Once upon a time, Nintendo took a chance on a small development studio called Alpha Dream, and look what they brought us. Mario and Luigi.
right.
You think there's going to be a
Finally.
fourth one? For the 3DS?
Hope so.
Probably.
That sounds interesting. Maybe.
I'm looking forward to Paper Mario 3DS personally.
Paper
That's
Mario.
not
whatever
3DS.
That's
No, it's still coming out.
Coming out.
Along with
But
Will we see more stuff from it?
probably.
and also
I would be. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say also add Animal Crossing to that too, because that's also
Yes.
Animal
Yeah, both of
Crossing.
those should get some. Those and Luigi's Mansion should definitely get highlights, and probably another 3DS game will be announced. I don't know what franchise. Maybe let's see. Well, Zelda's definitely a possibility, but I would like to see actually a new IP from Nintendo be discussed.
Yeah.
There's been talk about it, but
What is IP?
intellectual property, as in a new Mario
New
is
franchise.
is their yeah.
Oh, isn't there Epic Mickey 2? Is that already out?
Oh, well, that's coming out, but that's coming out for the Wii, actually, Epic Mickey 2, and for PS3 and Xbox 360. And then there's an Epic Mickey for the 3DS.
I doubt we'll see much from them on the E3 floor, just seeing as they've already advertised as much as they can on TV and all that. So
Epic
I
Mickey?
don't. Epic Mickey 2, yeah.
Well, they still had Epic Mickey at the one E3, even though they had advertised it beforehand. But I don't know. It depends. It's interesting that there's still, of course, Black and White 2, we probably won't see much from that, but Black and White 2 is a DS game that's still coming out, and the DS is already, 3DS has been out for over a year at this point.
Was there supposed to be another Kirby game coming out for Wii too that wasn't Return to Dreamland?
I'd be surprised, but
I think Kirby's good on titles for now. He recently got a lot of big ones: Epic Yarn, Mass Attack, Return to Dreamland.
and even Superstar Ultra wasn't that long ago either. So
We might see
Well,
something
you do
small.
have that anniversary thing coming up.
shoot, that one too.
Anniversary.
Yeah, the 20th anniversary?
Kirby's 20th anniversary.
For Kirby or Hal?
Kirby.
Okay.
yeah, he's getting a collection. That's for the Wii too, I believe.
Cool.
Well, I think that's. Is there anything else to talk about for Nintendo?
I think that we about covered most of the major predictions.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously predictions for the Wii U controller and some specific things it might be able to do. I heard a rumor recently that actually the 3DS they're coming out with a stylus that will allow you to interact with the top screen in the 3D imagery or something, and it also has a rumble pack inside it, like a rumble stylus. But
That'd be interesting.
A Rumble
It's a rumor.
stylus.
That's interesting.
Hopefully it won't run on battery like Pokemon.
AAA.
But so I think that about covers Nintendo.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
final notes.
One
Cool.
final statement. 3D gimmicks are no substitute for good old-fashioned good game design, and Nintendo better remember that.
hey, but their games for the 3DS have been good game design. The 3D just adds a little bit of spice.
It should always be a supplement, not a.
Yeah. The
Honestly,
3DS is not the
though-
main course.
Honestly, though, I think you should be taking that statement and telling the third parties that, because I think the third parties are the biggest offenders of that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
True.
Definitely.
So let's move on and talk about something I'm excited about. I don't know how much you guys follow Sony news.
Sesame Street.
We've already shut up. We've already established that you guys really don't like Sony that much, or at least don't
Well,
not,
hey,
not don't like them, but don't follow them.
Whoa. Eric, I like Sony.
All right.
At
I
this
will
point,
track
we have,
that statement.
There's
we
4
we've
people in this call that have a PS3 now, so.
included that K-Man hates Sony. So
Okay. I'll live with that.
everyone else might be excited for games like God of War Ascension.
Yawn.
God of War series is pretty awesome, and we're getting a new God of War game.
Never played God of War.
Okay, well, I guess we're not excited about that.
Well, okay, since this will probably be the only game, even though I don't have a PS3, that I'd be excited for is Sly 4. We'll probably get more.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
Yeah. Sly Cooper 4 and Little Big Planet, a new Little Big Planet game. So those two things should be pretty exciting.
How about
No,
Assassin's
but
Creed 3? Isn't that coming out on 360 as well?
Assassin's Creed 3 is coming out on 360 as well.
and the Wii U, I think, as well,
And the
possibly.
Wii U. Yep.
Oh, wow.
And then I was going to
no.
say, what? Go ahead.
You're forgetting the Smash Bros. Clone.
I'm getting to that.
No, Smash Bros. Cloned their game.
Oh, I guess we'll talk about it now then. Why not? PlayStation All Stars, which is a ripoff of Smash Bros. But the question is, will it be better than Smash Brothers, or how will it compare?
Well,
It'll probably be a good game, but it's definitely Smash Bros. With Sony characters.
Because remember, there was that Ninja Turtles game that came out that was like another one of Smash Brothers, and it was good. It was a good game.
Yes, it was.
So
Than Ratha.
How was it good? It looked completely lazy. It looked like a couple of college programmers did it or something.
Did you play it? Wait, PK, did you play the game?
No.
Okay.
But I've watched video footage of it, and it's not
I watched Beryl B do a playthrough of the different characters and stages in the game. It looks really fun, and it was fun.
it was fun, but I don't know. Will PlayStation All-Stars live up to Smash Brothers?
It's called PlayStation All-Stars? No, it's not going to live up, bro.
I think it'll be a good game. You can't claim it's really original in any way.
No, it's not original at all.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun and really flashy, and they'll have some really awesome characters in it.
I love Parappa the Rapper's in it.
Yeah, Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah, they're gonna have Kratos, that one guy from God of War. Oh wait, that's the same guy.
No. The real star of the game is going to be Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. I'm playing
That's
that
gonna be
guy.
awesome. Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal is gonna be great, and they'll probably release some more characters. Maybe Snake will appear in both fighting games.
Or maybe another third-party character, like Cooking Mama.
No, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic needs to appear in everything.
I think Drake from
Oh yeah, he's in it.
so that'll be pretty exciting.
And Sackboy, I believe, is in it too.
Yeah.
They should also randomly throw in Heihachi from Tekken.
Hachi. Wait, what?
No.
Heihachi.
Oh.
Tekken. That would be really funny.
He was in the Soul Calibur 2 PS2 version.
He was.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. And now another game that's coming out that's big is, I don't know how much you guys have heard of it, but it's called The Last of Us. And
Yeah, I've
it's
heard
by
of that.
the-
I've heard of that.
It's
It's
by the
Naughty
same
Dog's
people.
latest game.
Right, it's Naughty Dog's latest game by the same people who did Crash Bandicoot, the old good ones, and the Uncharted series, which
And
was
Jack
phenomenal.
Daxter.
And Jack and Daxter, which
Cool.
was
That
phenomenal.
might be a good game.
This is their new series coming out, The Last of Us.
What's it called? The Last of Us?
The Last of Us.
Is there?
So
Is there
I,
any? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm excited again.
Well, I was wondering if you think there's going to be any unexpected announcements, like things that haven't been teased.
I don't know. They might do more with the Move, the PlayStation Move, because kind of like the Kinect, it hasn't really done
They
anything.
were a little bit quiet about it in the last E3,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't be terribly surprising if they just suddenly come out with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Because nobody really cares about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and a lot of third-party developers that have made really good Sony games are kind of being questioned. Like Guerrilla made Killzone, which was a big Sony franchise, and they haven't done anything for a while. Sucker Punch made Infamous, and they haven't done anything for a while.
Well, they
So-
made Infamous too, but that's
They
been
made
out
Infamous
a few
too,
months.
but are they going to come out with a new series? And then don't forget about the PlayStation Vita, which will probably have a ton of stuff for it. So, but I think it'll be mostly focused on those games and then the Vita.
But my
Sony's been. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that my question is, at least for all of you, do you think there will be a PS4 announcement at all? Maybe?
No.
No.
I disagree.
At most, a tease. I don't think they're going to really give. If they do, but I don't think they're going to give anything. If they do, it's going to be like a little bit of a small detail near the end, possibly. But I don't think there's going to be. I mean,
Although, I would be surprised if both Microsoft and Sony don't try and make a counter for the Wii U, which Nintendo is releasing. Wouldn't that be like one of the first systems that would kind of go uncontested by the other three?
I don't think they see it as a contest, like a system that's trying to contest the next generation. It's not really that huge of a leap. They're kind of just adding
It
one
is-
thing
yeah.
with better graphics.
To speak honestly, it's more of a catch-up, if anything.
Right.
well, 360 also came out way before both the PS3 and the Wii. So
Much to their...
To their own
Disaster, yeah.
downfall.
360, the 360's.
Well, I mean,
It's
it
relatively
first.
successful.
helped them secure
No,
their
at first.
online dominance, but they suffered millions in broken consoles as a result.
Oh, yeah, that.
Oh, you mean rushing? Oh, rushing production. You mean?
Yeah, but the Red Ring of Death.
That's what they get for rushing it.
Yeah, you can't.
Once again, Taboo strikes again. Haha, Microsoft.
I know this next thing I'm about to say might be a little out there, but I noticed that there has only been one Civilization game released for any console, and that's Civilization Revolution.
Revolution. Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that Sid Meier kind of puts out a multi-ported game again, like Revolution.
That'll be interesting. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out at E3. You know? This is why we're making predictions.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I think one thing I heard is the Monster Hunter series, which is a big thing, that the next installment might be exclusively on the PS3, or they're fighting for it.
I know the Monster Hunter, I believe there's like two of them are being announced are going to be on the 3DS because like for Japan they love that series, and that's like one of the things that sold the PSP for them was Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So obviously whoever has Monster Hunter is going to get some sales in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Right. So they're trying to fight for it on the PS3.
Yeah. Monster Hunter was a surprising hit to me. I mean, I even saw people in my college playing it. It's like, wait, what's so great about this game? Well, and they're like, oh well, you get to farm for equipment, fight a wide variety of monsters, and power game. It's like the same appeal of MMORPGs without the
if you put that game on a Sony console or even a Microsoft console, you're definitely going to get a bit more of a reaction because Nintendo is still pretty limited with online capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Monster Hunter has multiplayer, right?
Yeah, it generally does.
Generally does.
I'll say that
single player.
I mean, I've been happy with the 3DS's online so far. They just need to get more going out there, and Nintendo's doing a good job. Again, it's the third parties need to, put some faith and start, putting more online stuff out, or more games in general. But
one final note for Sony that is worth mentioning would probably be Rockstar's new game, which is a PS3 exclusive called Age, which I don't really know much about it, but I know it's very highly anticipated, and it's, I guess, sort of like, I don't know, a shooter, apparently, but it's Rockstar, and they make really good games, so...
Oh, I'm skeptical because I haven't tried them, because, whenever a popular game gets all the hype and praise, I'm always skeptical of it, but
yes.
They're probably good. I've only played a couple of Grand Theft Autos.
Mm-hmm. Since we are mentioning Rockstar though, and it could be a segue into the Microsoft too as well, because it usually releases on both systems anyway. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is also something that has been discussed. I don't know if we're going to see anything about it, but I have heard of surprise trailers or teasers that have been announced at least in the last year. So there could be something about that, the next Grand Theft Auto game too.
I mean, they definitely have the opportunity, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right, so go ahead and segue into Microsoft. That was a good...
Okay,
Oh, wait, sorry. I have one more thing. What is the over-under on how many Final Fantasy games Jack Tretton introduces in E3?
You want an estimate?
Yeah.
10.
Probably 1, 2 at most.
Let's say 5.
5.
Honestly, it's not entirely sure. I mean, they seem to be focusing more on the 13 series right now because they just came out with 13.2. I don't know if they're just going to let the series, that number die there and move on. But God help me, they better, put out a better MMO if they try that route again because, I mean, I heard just the most abysmal things about 14, even compared to 11. And, yeah, I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon, to be honest. If they do, I hope to God they put in a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
As a long-time Final Fantasy fan, I just want one thing. Show us what's going on with Final Fantasy Versus 13. What's up with that game? Where is it?
Joe Puddin'. Okay, no.
Maybe we'll find out at E3.
Yeah. that'll just be the closing statement for everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So something that we know is going to happen, and it's not going to be revealed at E3 because we all know that. Well, before we get there, we all know that everyone's waiting to hear Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
No.
And their whole
they're going to
thing.
say Halo 4.
I thought.
Well,
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2 got spoiled recently, and the cat kind of got out of the bag a little bit premature.
with all the commercials and stuff, and how Woods is alive, and I'm not happy about that.
Right.
Well, he had to after that ending in the first one where you had that America F yeah moment.
America. No.
I mean, that's the best way to describe it.
True.
I mean, I guess it's going to be successful just because it's a Call of Duty title and they always get successful. Whether people will moan about it later, we'll have to see.
Oh, they will.
Will we get...
Oh, there will be moaning.
That's what.
I mean, personally, I think I'll like it just because I played through Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. I still like Black Ops the best, and so many people are going to shoot me for that statement, but I still hold true to it.
I want to see what happens with it, because with Modern Warfare 3, it got compared essentially as the big map pack extension for Modern Warfare 2. So if Black Ops 2 can actually differentiate itself from the original Black Ops, then it would probably be, worth my time. Otherwise,
What do you guys think of that online service, Call of Duty Elite or something like that?
What is that?
Personal waste of your time and money.
yes, move on.
I think it'll be good for people like Call of Duty. It's like their dream for people like Call of Duty.
It's for people who take the game so seriously, like MLG players.
I want to
It's
go to
not
the
just a game.
IPL
And
tournament.
I honestly, like, the thing that you do get that probably the casual crowd would be their only benefit would probably be the fact that you get your map packs for free if you have a subscription.
Yeah,
But
it's kind
other
of like
than-
one of those VIP things for Forza Motorsport.
Do you have to pay for this Call of Duty Elite thing, though?
Yes,
Yes.
you do.
Oh, so you're not getting it for free. It's just it's a distraction.
It's a subscription to, like, free map packs as well as stat tracking and all that. And apparently there are also videos that only subscribers can watch, and it's a long story. I know, like, I have watched a couple of people do stuff. I know that Call of Duty or Elite has hired some people from YouTube to produce content for them. It's a weird thing, and honestly, I don't think it's worth the subscription money.
Microsoft and Google? What?
Don't forget something else. Speaking of shooters on the 360, we have Halo 4, which still didn't come out yet, and it'll probably get a trailer. And it's developed by a different company, so it's going to be new and different.
Yeah, well, sorta different company. I mean,
Sorta,
this is,
yeah, sorta.
Like, it's essentially the leftovers that Microsoft was able to entice over from Bungie.
Right, it's a bunch of leftovers.
Just let the franchise die.
Halo's a
Honestly,
good
I'm gonna reserve judgment. Like, I'm probably out of all the shooters, out of all of them, like Halo is probably the one I would get insane over. In fact, I mean, I got the legendary version of Halo Reach, but I'm gonna reserve judgment. Like, the multiplayer looks good. I'm intrigued at least to see where they're gonna take the multiplayer. I mean, no, single player rather. Honestly, I'm not gonna reserve it because like there are plenty of other things I gotta deal with first. But I'm not gonna pass judgment on it yet because it does look nice already.
Mm-hmm.
It looks shiny.
Have they shown any gameplay footage of it?
Yes, they have shown multiplayer.
A little bit, yeah.
Ooh.
And it does look nice. I mean, it's kind of an even more polished version of Reach. I mean, you can have your own customization slots. Like, you can actually pick what weapons you want to start out with for once.
I like that, yeah.
And we're going to throw in perks because that works so much in Call of Duty, I guess.
Right.
So, guy at Make 9 started out with a laser sword?
Maybe.
Yes.
Wait. So you're saying that Halo 4 is basically Call of Duty in space?
No, not
Oh,
space. Space!
Granted, on what I did say, probably, yeah, but, I mean, again, like, this is Halo, so we don't really know for sure.
Right.
Like, hopefully it isn't, because then what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then another shooter, too, is Gears of War Next Gen.
Oh,
So-
they're gonna continue that?
They're continuing it, yep. Gears of War has another game coming out.
I haven't heard.
Really?
But
Well, I thought
Is it
they
gonna
said
be-
they stopped.
the speculation is it going to be for the next gen Xbox? Is it going to be a launch title?
Connect.
So that's their whole.
We may actually see
Speculation.
that American chopper bike in there after all.
Would we see that? Who knows?
That would be kind of cool to ride around in, though. I've seen that episode. Like,
Use your hands to rev the engine and steer and everything.
No, dude, you have to see that vehicle. It is literally, like, they call it the machine, and for good reason.
Oh,
Does it come with locust killing chainsaws?
It comes
better.
with Gatling guns on the sides.
Oh, okay, that works. That works.
All right.
Okay.
You guys think Gabe Newell will appear on stage and finally release Half-Life 2 Episode 3?
No, I don't think Valve is really going to be at E3 that much.
No. I disagree.
The Vive.
No, I believe they said they're not going to really be at E3.
They're not going to be at E3, but they might release some information about their Steam box console.
Oh yeah, they're magical.
Steam box?
That's a big thing. They're turning Steam into a console, or at least they intend on it. I don't know
Did Sega just pass the baton to them, pretty much?
Yeah.
Plus, Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Oh yeah,
Also,
there's buzz
Don't
surrounding
need to
it.
play that game. Yay.
That's huge for PC gamers.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
Oh, there's also the expansion to Civ 5, Gods and Kings.
Yep, the
Coming
expansion.
soon.
Well, as
Master Kings.
I was going to say, since we're still on the subject of shooters, but we're not really anymore, but I'm going to go back onto the subject.
It's fine.
I'm sure there's a ton of people who are excited for Borderlands 2.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I wish I had been able to play that at PAX. The line was just never
Yeah, they had demos for that at PAX this year.
But the lines were like 3 hours all the time.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I was heartbroken by that. I really wanted to play it because I played the shit out of Borderlands 1. Like, literally, I got the Game of the Year edition, so I got all the DLC, and...
Right. So Borderlands 2 is going to be big.
Oh, one more thing about shooters. How funny would it be if there was some kind of teaser for Team Fortress 3?
Not going to happen.
That would make Microsoft automatically the best press conference.
No, it would make
No.
Valve the best press conference who happened to be there while Microsoft was supposed to do theirs.
Yeah, I
Valve
gotcha.
is making too much money on them on that game already, though, so I doubt they're going to make a third one anytime soon.
Oh,
They're
Just
still
to be-
updating Team Fortress 2, so I'd be surprised if they
Yeah.
announced Team Fortress 3.
you know, they should make a knockoff of the Call of Duty map pack and call it the Team Fortress 2 hat pack.
That would be really funny.
Oh
Yes, that
god.
would be awesome.
Just have hat packs released every week.
But honestly, Microsoft, honestly, in my opinion, this is the kind of thing I wanted to allude to, like, before the thing started. They do have a bit of an opportunity because, I mean, like, obviously this year they're not going to go so heavy on the Kinect. At least I hope to God they don't, because, I mean...
Well, from what I've heard, that they're planning on it.
Like, I hope they don't go as intense as they did last time, or at the very least, they come out with something good. But
Yeah.
honestly, like with a lot of the shooters, like essentially going into beating a dead horse mode, they really do have an opportunity to create some new IPs and diversify themselves. I mean, literally, like half their games are probably shooters, and that's where probably they make most of their money. But like with all these shooters kind of wrapping up and going away from their main parties, like Infinity Ward's dead apparently. Bungie's moved on from Halo. Gears of War, like that's still up in the air. So they honestly have plenty of room to just announce some crazy shit, and I really hope that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean like a game that involves you doing fist bumps on Kinect? I would love a game like that.
No, you know what they're going to announce? Connectables 2.
Yes!
No, you know what they're gonna announce?
Pride.
They're gonna announce the best game of all time, Minecraft 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting it, but I would I wouldn't put it past them to announce just like something brand new and something big like this year, like them kind of coming through with the shocker at the end or something.
Now, there is one selling point for Kinect, though, if they deliver, and it's a game called Steel Battalion Heavy Armor. And it's supposed to be, kind of as Mega was talking about earlier and as you just talked about, like an actual game, like hardcore, quote-unquote, game for the Kinect, with taking full advantage of Xbox's graphics, like having really nice cutscenes, having action. But whether or not it'll be good is a total different story. So I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but I don't know.
Never heard of it.
I know it's like an under the radar game. So,
Could be
but it's
secret.
an action game for the Kinect. It's not a dancing game or a sports game.
I
It's
don't
an
know.
act-
I'm waiting for the sequel to the Star Wars game.
Star Wars Dance Central.
Oh
So,
god.
I don't
No,
know.
in all seriousness, the Kinect is great technology, and I think it has potential, but they haven't really done anything with it. So,
That's
I mean,
true.
if they do, great. I'd be happy for them, but for at the moment, they just kind of, they had all these games last year. They're like, oh yeah, this has Kinect features, and it didn't enhance the game at all, or it took away features like with the Fable preview and the Star Wars one, where you use a lightsaber and you don't move around at all. It just moves you around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that's what you need to get the Kinect to work, then that's obviously not adding to the game. It's making the game less interactive.
Hey, you guys want to know a great motion control game? Playing at a foosball table.
Brilliant.
Actually, I will say the Dance Central games though for the Kinect are good. They work, but
That's the thing. That's kind of the problem I have with the whole Kinect thing. Like, obviously, it's great technology. It works really well. I've seen it in action so many times, and it really does look really, really awesome. But, I mean, you can't really do that much extra with it that's not, like, common sense. Like, the dancing games, that makes sense, and, once you simulate that, you have that game. But, like, what else can you do with it? I mean, you can simulate, like, shooting a gun or something, or playing sports or whatever. But
or better, playing football while dancing on the field with guns.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think that while motion control is pretty cool, I think it's kind of overstayed its welcome a little bit. I mean, just a little bit.
Thank you.
I kind of agree, but I wouldn't get rid of it. I think that just developers need to stop pushing it in this extreme direction.
Like it's some new thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Skyward Sword, for example, is a good use of it. It's it works in the game well. Or even the people say, oh, it's not a good use of motion control. Some of the Nintendo games, for example, have subtle uses of motion, and personally, I like just having a little bit of motion, even if it's nothing extraordinary. So I think you can use motion control.
For example, Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. Very simple, and it worked.
I mean, it's a dumb use of it, but personally, I think it. I like being able to shake my hand personally, so I like that use. I think that developers need to stop making it gimmicky. You can use it in a subtle manner, subtle use of motion control.
Honestly, they need to stop getting distracted and start focusing back on the game rather than being distracted by what they can do with motion control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you can use the motion control to enhance the game, great. But focus on the game first, and then, well, I mean, the controls obviously too. But think about what the controls can do to help you make the game. The game should always be the focus.
Yeah, a supplement like we were talking about with actually the Kinect earlier, that the motion controls, the voice recognition should always be a supplement to the actual game design.
I mean, the way they're designing games right now, it's like, okay, we have the Kinect. What can we do? What can we make for the Kinect to use the Kinect? As opposed to saying, okay, we're making this game. How can we use the Kinect to enhance this game? The game should be the first thought, not what the controller.
Yeah, Molly knew. Seriously, that game's gonna blow.
What game?
Which one?
Journey.
Fable.
Oh, Fable, Journey.
Journey, the actual game Journey, I've heard good things about, but Fable the Journey, yeah, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck hard. I mean, look at Fable Heroes. Fable is dead.
Wait, wasn't that the game that used your avatar in Fable?
What? No, Fable Heroes is you apparently use essentially Sackboy versions of the main heroes from Fable 2.
Oh, so it was like Little Big Fable.
Think of that. Think of Little Big Planet, Fable version, and Castle Crashers. You can combine those two, and that's essentially what the game is.
What have they done to the franchise?
Maybe
They've built it. They honestly have.
Should make Fable now.
Retro Studios should make Fable.
The only good news is that Molyneux has left Lionhead Studios, so now if they ever work on a game again, he won't fuck it up.
Yeah, Retro Studios should just be designated the studio for all franchise revivals.
Should be.
Yeah, really.
Good idea.
Wait, don't make a Little Big Planet knockoff. Why? It'll go to your thighs, and then you'll blow up.
Oh, God. There goes CSS meeting their SpongeBob quota.
I'm the Batman. Okay, so.
Speaking of SpongeBob, I think there was a SpongeBob game revealed for the Wii U that we didn't mention.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
One final note about Microsoft is they're probably going to spend a lot of their time dedicated to Xbox's features and compatibility and upgrades and stuff, because I don't know how much of you are in the tech world, but I did some research today in preparation for our lovely podcast. And they're pushing out Windows 8 this holiday season.
Oh yeah.
Windows 8?
And Windows 8 is, yes, Windows 8 already. And it's going to be cross-platform with the Xbox, the phone, the PC, the tablet. Like, they're all going to sync and work together. And you should, they claim, be able to do anything that you can, like, on one of them, on all four of them.
Skynet.
So it's essentially Skynet. But
I mean, I'll admit at least, and actually it's more so because it's portable. I like using, for example, Netflix on my 3DS. Not so much on the Wii, but I like using Netflix on my 3DS. But like with you know, if you have a handheld game system, I don't really care about all the stuff you can do on a game system because I have a computer. Anything I can do on the computer, I'll do on the computer, not on the game system. So for me personally, I mean, for people who like that stuff, great, but I'd rather just have Microsoft focus on the games, not on how you can now Google random crap on...
I think they are going to focus
Nintendo's kind of a unique critter in that regard because Sony and Microsoft weren't game developers first. They were tech developers first.
Well, technically Nintendo wasn't, but it's now what they just did.
Oh, okay. Nintendo made trading cards in the 1890s.
Guys,
okay.
all right, this E3. Nintendo's
hotels.
announcing they're announcing a new trading card pack.
Okay,
all right?
Nintendo is having a comeback of their Love Hotel chain.
Yes, we should do that. Yeah. Done.
Nah, I want to see the Game & Watch make a comeback.
Yes.
Wait, is that what Evil Residence is?
What? Evil Residence
I
is
think
a Game & Watch game?
K-Man transposed the names Resident and Evil and made Evil Residence. Is that the hotel game you're talking about?
Oh, that's what you mean.
Okay, so now that I think we're done with Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to now have everyone give one...
There's one last game that we should probably mention, and that's probably the fact that there might be a new Tomb Raider, I think, coming out.
Yeah, they showed that off last E3.
Yeah.
It's like supposed to be a reboot.
Wait, is this like Triple D Cup Tomb Raider or Double D?
No. Realistic Tomb Raider.
Okay. Because that seems like what they were doing with Tomb Raider every single iteration.
Essentially, I hear it's the other M of Tomb Raider, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with the story.
So it'll be bad.
And how many people complain.
Here. Let me tell you guys something. Tomb Raider is overrated trash, and this reboot will probably be better than that trash.
Hopefully. I mean, it can't get worse, can
So instead of being like the banana peel that you can't eat, it's like the half-eaten Rice Krispie treat that you can?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
What a great comparison.
So, now does everyone want to give their own crazy prediction that will never ever happen, just for fun?
Yeah,
Reggie's body will be ready.
No, that will happen. That will happen, though.
That's already happened.
Okay.
I think I technically already gave mine with the Xbox portion.
What was yours?
You know, the Microsoft would release like a new IP that would be crazy good or something.
Oh, so you're saying they probably won't?
They probably won't, no, but it'd be nice if they did.
Oh wait, a prediction that won't happen. Oh yeah, a new Ogre Battle game.
I hope so.
Okay, my prediction is a new Ogre Battle video from PK.
Oh!
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
Saying that LPers release videos at E3 now?
Whoa.
Chugging cockroach.
7 videos a month came in, remember?
Oh,
7
God.
videos.
Okay, oh, go ahead.
All right. My crazy prediction that I would love to see, but will never happen, is if they release Mega Man X9 and bring it back to the classic X style like they did with the classic Mega Man 9.
Like, that's going to happen.
But that would never happen.
My crazy prediction is that they will release Ice Climbers for the Wii U.
No!
Yeah, they need a new Ice Climbers game, man.
Get that shit out of here. They never belonged in Melee. I can't believe they got into Brawl.
You're just mad because you kept losing to them in Melee.
No one played it. It was never relevant. And
Sakurai
I guess
played
in this
it.
one, actually, a prediction that I would actually want to happen, and this might happen, but I want to see some games for like the Wii U or Wii that are like Warland Shake It or Rayman Origins. Basically, I want to see some hand-drawn 2D platforming games with style, not like the new Super Mario Bros. Games, which are just 3D models. But that will actually probably happen because Legends. But I want to see maybe a new IP of that. I guess a 2D hand-drawn.
Cool.
Do I give a serious suggestion now?
A serious impossible.
Serious Impossible. I'm thinking, as a launch title for the Wii U, Super Mario Galaxy 3.
No!
Should we see
Super
that?
Galaxy!
PK, are you just going to go against all the predictions?
Yeah!
These are impossible.
No, it's not going to happen. Well, these are supposed to be impossible things,
Yeah.
right? So.
Alright, well, that's comforting to me. That's comforting.
Okay, my crazy prediction, Duke Nukem Forever 2.
To be
That's
released.
not just impossible. That's what no one wants.
No,
To be released
I heard-
2025.
I heard rumors that they were gonna re-release that game. Like,
Just let it die.
Duke Nukem, he's the man.
I've got a couple. This head coach, NFL head coach 2
No, that's
for
not
the Wii U.
Oh no, wait, Shaq Fu 2 for the Wii U.
Shaq 2. No, they shouldn't call it Shaq Fu. They should call it Shaq 2.
No, but I've got one. I've got a semi-serious one. An overworld Pokemon MMORPG for Wii U that encompasses all the 5 primary regions for the version games.
That would be interesting.
But that's not gonna happen.
Not gonna
well,
happen.
they've done games at this point that would, are larger than technically even that. So, hell.
Oh, I know, but I don't see it happen. If it does, woo. But
Woo.
Woohoo!
yay.
Yay!
I guess I'll make my serious one, but I'd like to see a Mario Party that does kind of the same thing, which encompasses like passports and stuff into a really awesome
Yes.
multiplayer thing, and
Yes.
with
Mario
also
Party Generations.
with also online too, of course. But yeah,
Same with Mario Kart. Actually,
Mario
there's
Party
Mario
of the
Kart too.
decades. Because it'd be the 10th.
that's
Except it wouldn't be.
They're just gonna
But-
call it Mario Block Party.
Mario Block Party. Okay.
Instead of 3D renders, it's everyone looks like a block.
Okay.
Bit size.
Well, I guess since we've made our predictions, I guess very quickly we can go through everybody again and just, I don't know, just like quickly just give one general statement or just what everyone expects to happen, what they think will happen, and just like that, just really quick.
Sure.
Okay. Let's go in backwards order this time, so PTM, you start.
Oh, spotlight, hold on. I think that with Nintendo with the Wii U release from last year, I think Nintendo and Microsoft are going to compete with each other this year for, best overall conference with releasing games and technology and just showcasing everything. I think Sony's going to dumb it down a little bit. I think they're going to focus a lot on the Vita. They did with the PSP when they released it, and it just didn't work out so well. So I think Nintendo and Microsoft will do really well.
Okay.
Enough?
SM.
All right. I think Sony's going to have the best press conference this year, with The Last of Us being the best game that's shown off, but also the new Sly game. And it's just, I think, going to be by far the best in terms of just games. Nintendo is going to be the second best. I think it's going to be the most interesting with the Wii U, because not that I don't know too much about it, but I'm really interested to see more of the specifics on it, especially if they have a release date. That would be pretty cool. So that'll be second. And 3DS stuff is exciting too. Mm-hmm. And then Microsoft, I think, will sadly be last, because they're going to focus, I think, a lot on compatibility, a lot on, you can use Facebook on Xbox. And it's like, wow, that's great. So I don't think it'll be that exciting. It might be still good, but it will be the most disappointing of the three. That's my prediction.
Okay, Gaia.
Well, I'm interested to see what Sony's going to do, especially because of that game that SM mentioned. But they kind of have a bit of freedom to the move out. This is going to be interesting to look at just to see what they have. Nintendo's going to be. Well, we already kind of know a lot of what Nintendo has, so it's basically just going to be probably explanations about all the games that we kind of got rumors of last year, and of course the Wii U. Microsoft, I hope to God I'm right, and I hope that they do learn their lesson from last year and focus less on the Kinect. If they repeat last year, like just go shooter and Kinect crazy, they're definitely going to have another bad conference.
Okay, PK.
Well, like you guys have been saying, I don't have high hopes for Microsoft. I don't think you guys have high hopes for it either. And that's mainly because they care too much about their damn Kinect, which I couldn't care less about. So Microsoft's probably going to be dead last. And Sony is probably going to be second because they're probably going to show off some cool games. But I think ultimately the big star of the show is going to be Nintendo because they're bringing out a new system. Now, this could be a flop and they could be the worst company of the convention. But I think they have the most potential to be the best because they're bringing out a brand new console, man, brand new ground. People are going to be watching. So succeed, Nintendo.
Okay, man.
Okay, well, we're all going to be extremely embarrassed if Microsoft ends up blowing our minds. But
I was the one that vouched for him in this, so
I mean, I'll
PTM will
if they actually succeed.
PTM will win some ground, but honestly, I think Microsoft's going to be in last place just because they haven't focused for the past couple of years, and I don't think anything's going to change this year. I don't think they have any huge titles besides shooters that are going to completely psych up the audience. I think first place is going to basically be it's going to be a pretty close contest, I think, between Sony and Nintendo. Nintendo has their new Wii U, Sony has their Vita, and both of them have a really strong lineup that they both can reveal. So I think it's going to be a good race for first, and even if either of them do really awful, they're still not going to be as awful as Microsoft.
Mega?
Okay, not to be that horse, but looking at the past trend of the last 2 years, I don't have high hopes for Microsoft. They could blow us away, but I don't. I think they're pretty much. I don't see them being high up, at least on my list personally. Maybe for the people who are into shooters, that might impress them and that might cause them to win just because people like these shooters. But other than that, Microsoft for me is probably going to be last. And of course, I don't have a PlayStation 3, so I'm not basing on what I'm going to want to buy, more on who did a good job of hyping people up. So I think Sony can easily do really well. I do think, though, that Nintendo has the most potential for two reasons. One, for the past 2 years, they've really been hyping up trying to get the E3 more out there. They have it. Actually, can watch the show on Spike TV and MTV2 this year, and on Facebook. They're trying to really push showing E3 off. And they've announced. There's been a lot of times they've announced games that we haven't heard any word about in the past 2 years. Announced at E3, like Kirby Returns to Dreamland or New Super Mario Bros. Wii that 1 year. So Nintendo has a history of surprise announcements, more so I think than the other two. Though Sony does it occasionally. I mean, the other ones do, but I think Nintendo seems to do it more often. And I think Nintendo, with already kind of announcing the Wii U, but not going into great details on the games last year. And having the 3DS out, I think they have the best setup and the most potential to just push out tons and tons of games and focus on the games this year. So Sony is more safe. It can go either way. Nintendo has the most potential that could easily push them on the top. So it's definitely between Sony or Nintendo, and I'm going for Nintendo personally.
Okay, well, I guess that goes to my thoughts now, and that dead horse is being very, very comfortable right now, but all I have to say is, I really hope for Microsoft's sake that they do bring something groundbreaking to the table. I think they're definitely capable of doing it, but like all of you have said, they just haven't been doing it, and I've been really disappointed. I just bought a 360 not too long ago to play the games that I was interested
to add Slim Kirby on Xbox
No,
Live.
don't. But yeah, I really hope they do something at least. But I do agree that they're probably going to end up in last place just because they don't really seem like they're going to try to really, reach for anything groundbreaking. They're just adding features to their system, which is actually the oldest system that's going on of this generation. So I just really am not seeing them making any initiative to actually moving forward. And with what they are moving forward with is stuff that's already been done, like motion controls. We've seen that enough for the last generation. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to really do much. And like all of you said as well, I think Mega put it the best way. Sony is definitely very safe in the position where they are. They can keep it just games and focus on that, and they'll be fine. They can release something big, and they'll be great. I think they're just in a really good position. And with Nintendo, they have the Wii U, they have the 3DS they're still making games for. They have a lot to work with, and just from hearing the rumors and speculation of what could be out, I mean, I think they're definitely going to have something good as well. So I'm going to go with the majority, or pretty much all of you, and just say that it's pretty much going to be a fight for first between Sony and Nintendo, and then Microsoft, unfortunately, bringing up the rear.
Now, since I was the only one to kind of side with Microsoft for this year, it'd be the odd man out.
I kind of went with them too. I mean, as long as they don't do the same crap that they did last year.
I mean, I want to kind of build off of what Gaia said, because what Gaia said was really interesting. I think with like recent releases and past releases with other popular non-shooter titles like Civilization and Final Fantasy, they started porting titles that people really like. I think if they have a combination of that and new franchises with the Kinect system that actually use Kinect the technology, like Mega said, really well, I think they could really, really surprise a lot of people. But then again, with Microsoft's track record at E3, it's not very likely.
I agree with you, but the problem is if, and it's a really big if.
I'm really hoping they do it, and I think they're gonna make strides this year to do it. I don't think it's something they can ignore.
I think they need more child actors.
More double fist bump.
Well, they will have Windows 8. Don't forget about that. But
yeah, if they focus on Windows 8, it's a flop.
Other than that, not so sure about game-wise.
The 360 actually has a good library of games. I just think Kinect is holding them back too much.
And I think they need more. Personally, again, for the personal opinion, I think they need more diversity. I'd like to see more. Like, I know obviously they have shooters, but like Sony has some, platforming adventure games. I want to see more of that from Microsoft. Again, more new franchises, like Gaia was saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess the only thing we can say to that is, SM, say the new quote that you made for this podcast.
Maybe we'll find out at E3.
Yeah.
It might be there. It might not. Only time will tell.
Okay, so I get.
And we.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we will be back to actually give our thoughts on E3.
Yeah.
Post E3 podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go on about next. Obviously, this has been uploaded before E3. We will have a post E3 show that'll probably be released next weekend, and we're just going to basically cover everything that was shown, what we think, and we hope to see you guys there. And thanks for spending an hour with us to listen to us talk nonstop about all of these awesome games and systems.
I think it's been more than an hour. It's been like an hour and a half.
My clock says an hour 15 around there. So yeah.
Okay. It's long. Deal with it.
That's what a podcast is supposed to be. That way, you're supposed to talk for a very long time.
Yeah, I was talking to the viewers. I mean, listeners.
Yeah.
So yeah, Portal 3.
No.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see you guys for the post show.
See ya.
Bye.
Adios.
Ciao.
Peace.